Yeah, hello and welcome back to another AMA with our game design director Felix. So I'm happy to have you here today to answer a couple of questions about the game economy and the land itself. So welcome.
Hi, Luke. Happy to be here again and answer some community questions.
Yeah. Speaking of community questions, so before we had the before we had this AMA, we asked the community and especially also our landlords and our OGs from Discord to provide some questions, and they have a lot of questions. And I would like to start with Triceratops. So he's asking, how does the land actually work? Will each player build his own city, or how will it look like?
So yes, every player will build their own town. And it's something that also belongs to that player. So the towns that are built do not belong to the land, they belong to the players.
So if the player, for example, moves to a different land because maybe that's a tier 5 land and there are higher rates, will he move all his stuff with him, or will it not stay on the land, right?
Right. It's the player will move the town, their resources, everything with them, which might also be the reason why another landlord wants to have that player. So probably the high tier player landowners will also be able to get the high level players there because it's interesting for them to have strong people on the land and they want to have the land with the best benefits.
Yeah, of course. I also want to be on the tier 5 land. Let's see how this one works. How interconnected are the individual land spots? Is it possible to build some kind of infrastructure on the land that benefits all players?
Yes, we will have two systems for that. One is the prestige system. This means players have to actively fight back invaders who are roaming around and kind of attacking the land, not the towns of the players, but run around and scare the people that live on the land, which is just story-wise. And if they fight back those invaders, the prestige goes up. If they're not fighting, or anyways, over time, prestige goes down. Prestige is providing, on the one hand, a benefit that is fixed per level. On the other hand, it will provide a multiplier on the boosts the land is already giving. So the resulting boost for higher tier land will be stronger than for lower tier land, but all will definitely benefit from it. And the second system is that landowners will be able to build something on their land. We're currently not sure exactly where it will build. The original idea was building it on the town slots and then consuming a town slot, and by that limiting the landowners in how much they build up there. But then it was like, what will happen if there's a landowner and filling all the slots except the one for them? And then we're not having space for all the other players because they only want to have this super high boosted land. So we're currently thinking about what could be the other solutions to limit the landowners. And this is also a reason because the landowners are getting a lot of taxes in. They have way more resources than the other players. So they need a reason to spend this extra resources to still have some kind of balance.
So they could basically bring it back to the community or their community. The more they invest in their own land, the better it is for the other ones. I think that's the difference
for everyone.
between being a good landowner or a not so good landowner. I think I will be a good landowner and give everything back to the people. So I will be the Robin Hood of the game.
But well, it also increases the value of the land. So if you would later decide to sell your land, then you have something much better to sell.
So the better my land is in the game, the higher most likely the price will be on the marketplace, because when I have lots of really good players on my land, they will not get kicked out? We had Belge asking, will there be some kind of eviction notice, like, hey, I'm selling my land, you need to get off because otherwise I can't sell it? Or will the contracts move to the next landowner, basically?
The contracts will stay as they are if there's a new landlord. And players who want to buy land will be able to see before what are the contracts on that county.
Mm-hmm. And can I adjust the contracts? Like, for example, I have really good land. I want to increase it or increase the taxes because I have lots of good players. Maybe you can show us something about this? Or...
Yeah, I'm prepared. So where's my mouse? There it is. So an example, this is an old prototype. It's a month old, just made by me, no artist involved.
So it's a pre-planned version and will not look anyhow like this. It's just to show how the game economy will look like, right?
This prototype only has the purpose of functionality and not final game look.
So it's basically your brain on a smaller map, so you can test out everything. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
So an example here, we have a flag that is representing a county of the player. And if they would click on it, they see like how active are my players here on my county. And then you can go to the contracts. And then we see here are still open slots. And then I can open the contract for one of those slots. So it's really like every town slot on your land is individually able to set up how you rent stuff away.
So I can also set up, for example, if I have really good players, I have lower fee because they produce a lot and they bring a lot of prestige maybe. But if I have like low level players, for example, I could set a higher fee. So it's basically...
So you can say, I know this player is super active. He's doing 10,000 fights a day. Therefore, I can lower the tax rate for this player because the other player there is only doing 10 fights a day. So even if I cut down the tax rate by factor 10 down, I would earn more with that super active player than with this low active player. And then, because there was this question about kicking out, we will have two kinds of contracts. One is with a minimum duration. So where you would say like, oh, this contract is at least for 1 month. Therefore, those players can even ask for an entry fee and say it's for 1 month, but you have to pay like this amount of me and that amount of silver, and but therefore it's safe for 1 month, and afterwards only the taxes would come in. Here is this part with monthly fee that we decided already to kick out, especially for technical reasons, like how should we deduct stuff from the wallet of someone, so we don't want to have a subscription model here.
That's a good thing in crypto. You cannot just take stuff from any other crypto wallet without them knowing. So
yeah, but actually there are possibilities to have a subscription. So technically there are possibilities, but we would like to not do it.
Yeah. And could I, for example, divide the land into different parts, that I have like 2 landowners or 2 landlords in one land?
No. So the land is an NFT. It's like trying to share a Bored Ape picture between 2 owners. This is not possible. That's why you can make contracts for every town slot. But I wasn't done with duration stuff for the contract. So if you set up this minimum duration, then for the one that is coming onto your land, it's safe for him that he can stay for at least, in example, 1 month. You can also say the duration is not limited, but therefore you can't ask for an entry fee and only have a share on the income of the player. And then you can check, okay, if this player is active, I want to keep him or her on my land, because there's just coming this income from the activity of the player. And if that player is not active, I can kick that player out at any time. Also, the player who joined your county can leave at any point in time. So if that player is like, oh, I'm not having a landlord that is supporting me here enough and is asking for too high taxes, I rather go to this other landlord who has lower taxes and is more active in supporting also the people on the land. So it's a two-side dependency.
So you can also then at any time withdraw, for example, the contract and move to another land, but you will take all your stuff and your resources with you, right? So it's not that it's all gone. That's what Belch is asking. And you can then also sell it on the marketplace, most likely. So if you have all your resources, you just go to the marketplace and sell it over there. Or
we want to have it that you can wrap your resources and then have this wrapped like 5,000 wheat, and then sell this package.
Okay.
And then it needs to be unpacked in the game again.
And the landowner itself will decide, for example, he will go to our Discord channel. Don't forget to join our Discord channel. So he can go into the Discord channel, check the recruitment channel, for example, and then say, hey, I have a tier 5 land or tier 1 land. I need 10 players. And then they go and apply for it. Or are those some contracts set up somewhere where you can just apply for or grab it without them knowing? Or how will this work? How will the contracting work itself?
Therefore, we have this exception part. You can either say accept automatically, and you probably set up before requirements, which is showing like, okay, this player needs to be this well built up. So that's where we have this town hall for. It's the main building of a city, which is roughly describing how big a player is. And the prestige is kind of the activity, because we also have personal prestige for your activity. And say, okay, these are the requirements, and if they are fulfilled, then it's automatically accepted. If you don't want to invest too much time into do negotiations with certain people, but you can also say, I want to manually confirm every application that is fulfilling the requirements, because I've told my buddy to join here, and we already negotiated everything. And because it's my buddy, I have low taxes, then I don't want someone else to jump in just before my buddy.
I would set it to manually and then take the good ones out of the community and to build a strong army with them. So how does it work when I have multiple lands? So I have a tier 5 land and a tier 1 land. Can I send my resources from one land to another land, or how does this work?
Yeah, so all the taxes you're claiming go to yourself. So in the end, kind of to your town. As it's all PvE, they are safe there, no matter how much you have. And then you can decide how you distribute your resources. So you will probably take one part for your own town to build that town up. But the more land you own, the more resources you will have, and probably also more than you need for your town. And this is the way then it starts. So you have to decide into which counties you start to invest your resources to improve this province.
There could be different strategies. You put it in the ones that are not progressing that nicely to boost them, or you pump everything into the one that is already nice. I'm excited to see how the community will decide on how this one will work. And I think Triceratops had also a question. So the faster you grow, or the more you play, the faster you grow. Is that applicable? Like it's similar to other games like Icarium or Travian, or how will that work in terms of growing? Can I grow faster if I play more, or?
So if you play more, you will grow faster because on the one hand, you will gain resources through activity like fighting invaders, doing daily missions and quests, participating on events. This will all provide you benefits that help you grow faster. We will have restrictions that are known from games like Academy or Travian, that you will have production times. So by this, you are limited in how much you can do in the end. So if you are very active, you can constantly produce and upgrade everything. That is possible. With the extra resources, as a landowner, you can invest into your land. Or as a regular player, you can decide to, hey, now I sell something on the marketplace, and there will be low active players who need more. I'm talking a lot about M.
No worries.
Sorry.
So one question is also in case of owning multiple lands, having different spots. So inside this contract, when I have it, for example, I have different lands. I can set up. That's what CVW is asking. Can I set up different contracts for each land, or is it based on the slots, or based on the whole land?
As it was shown here, it's really per town slot you can decide what are the conditions. So here we have an example with different fees for entering and also different percentages. So you can set it up really individually, and this should help a lot.
Is there anything else you want to show in the let me emphasize that again, the pre version of your brain's head thing over there, because that's not how the game will look like. That's just to show how it will work. Is there anything else you want to add over there, or should we go to the general questions?
I think we can go to the general questions.
Okay. So one question I get asked really a lot is, how will the first playable version of the game look like? So we are expecting to launch in the first quarter, end of first quarter next year. What can we expect from that? So we don't want to oversell, for example. So we want to give the community a picture on how it will actually look like during that time.
So during that time, what we want to have ready, and where currently our focus is at the town builder itself, so that players will be able to build the first buildings, upgrade them, arrange them, and start to build up their town. We need to see how much of production we will have in at that point in time, as production is mainly needed for the next module afterwards, the province, which is coming after that. Therefore, we will also have a different economy just for the town builder in the beginning, because players will not be able to get that many extra resources through battles against invaders and stuff like this. Yeah, and I think you told me there will be a question about economy.
So one question is how the economy will be stable. So how do you plan to have a stable economy? Because lots of the other games, like they don't have they have shifts up and down, so it's pretty volatile. So how do you plan on keeping the economy stable?
Okay. There are two parts regarding economy. One is this resource investment, and the other one is NFTs. Resource investment, to keep it very short, is I'm using Excel files to predict the resource income and therefore set the costs for upgrading and production accordingly, so that the average player will have some demand, but high active players have an over income. The lower the activity, the less income compared to what you would need to constantly produce. For the NFTs, and that's probably the most important part for the crypto people, is that we don't want to have players creating NFTs that last forever. We want to get in into a situation that is known from other games, that there are hundreds or thousands of items per player, and the player needs like 10 or 15, and then they're getting devalued. So we decided to go for a system where every item that is created by a player, especially the NFTs, that they are consumed over time. So they will have the really not much like the durability amount of uses, therefore. And we're balancing it so that it's satisfying to create them and use them for a time. And here comes the NDA stuff, where I can't go deep into details. What we needed to add and find is a solution that when the duration is consumed, that the player has a satisfying moment when reaching that point. So it was really like,
tell us what it is right now, but
no, because I think this is one of the key things for success on the market with blockchain, because the economy breaking point is something that is killing a lot of blockchain games. And solving this issue as the first ones will be one of the key things on the market.
So it doesn't actually exist what you're planning to implement, right?
Right. So we even have two solutions that we're going to use to create an exciting moment where you feel like, and now I destroy it.
I like destroying stuff, so I'm looking forward.
Yeah, but think about how often you like destroying your own stuff, and it was really like this hard thing of, okay, we think about moments in our life where we destroyed something of our own and we're happy.
Yeah, I would have to think about it. Like,
and we were finding those things, and we're finding things that fit for the game.
Okay, I'm excited to see how this one will look like. And can you also tell us about the current process or progress that you are making in terms of town building and how this one will look like?
Yeah, so town building is, as I said before, our main focus at the moment, and we are trying to get the town building right. One of the big challenges is also this visual appeal, where people either like, oh, I want to have a very organic looking town where buildings are staying like this, and it's like they built in the medieval times, they just build it up like they wanted. And then you have those people who are like, yeah, I want everything structured, squarish, and I'm one of those people. I just want to have it organized so that I find everything very fast.
I want the town to look nice. So
see, and yeah, I don't know if you already shared my little drawing I made.
I saw that. No, we will share that pretty soon then. Yeah.
So the idea is that every building has kind of a basic space where it is on, which is a nice square shape. But then you have the building on it, and then you could turn it like, if you think about those photo apps you have where you can rotate your picture, that you can rotate the building. This is possible because we're making everything in 3D models, and you can then turn this 3D model, and then under the hood you have a squarish structure, and if you don't want to change it around, every same building looks the same. But if you like, then you could turn around and have this organic look.
So you will satisfy both player types. So you and me will both have the. So I'm rather looking into having also a unique town. I don't want my town to look like every other town. I want it to be my town. You know, so. That's really
I do understand. And this is currently a solution we're having, and now we have to find out how it's technically working in the end.
Yeah, that's something for Moritz then. I will ask
Moritz and Peter.
Yeah.
So it's up to both of them to find a good solution. And So this is currently where we're working on making really a town builder that is outstanding and really satisfies everyone. And it has a lot of technical questions to make this right. And yeah, that's the main focus.
So in the end, so the first stage was building the world map, like how we see it on our page. I can actually link it here. So entering the world map, you see all the different countries and North Ankara, and then you can go down and see where the Crusaders are, which I'm excited about. But then while you have your land on there, later on you will zoom basically into your land and then see your own little town there, or how will this work?
So we already have this view where you go into the province and then see the counties. And what we will have in the iteration when we are offering the town builder is that you see an icon on your town where your town is on the map, and then you click on it, and then you enter the town builder module.
I'm looking forward to it. And one question that I have is which town will you choose, or which faction will you choose? Because we have a couple of people that are already building up teams inside Telegram, especially. So which faction will you choose?
I will probably choose the Turkish tribes. This is related to how I grew up. So I've been grown up in Berlin, Kreuzberg, close to a place called Cottbusser Tor, which also has the by name Little Istanbul. There's around 50% of the people living there are having migration background from Turkey. And I really loved it to grow up there. And that's why I think the Turkish faction is fitting pretty well for me.
Yeah, and soon you will also see on our socials we have you will see fights between the Kayi and the Crusaders. I cannot say too much yet, but it will be fun to watch. I can promise you that. And is there anything else you want to let the community know?
I'm really happy if questions are coming up or ideas that are reported through our nice community team to me. Because whenever there's a question or an idea that is coming up, it also helps us to imagine more about what people like, what they care about. And then those moments happen like, oh, there's this community question coming about this or idea. And we're like, no, it's different to what we have. Our idea is like this. But actually, if you think about this and this together, you could create this. And this is even more awesome than our thought and the thought that was coming up from the community. Like the one with the houses you built on a place and then you can turn around. It was like bringing both things together and creating something that is even better.
And that's the Web3 part of the game, right? So we asked the community also what they want, especially, of course, the engaged community and the landowners and the OGs that we have. They bring some valuable ideas. So if you have any more ideas or you want to reach out to the team, and I promise Felix will answer all your questions. I will promise that. But other than that, we will take everything, put it in a package for the next AMA then with Felix. And I really enjoy the AMAs with you because I also learn a lot of new things about the game. And yeah, thanks for being here again, and join us on the next one. And don't forget to follow our socials or subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You can find them in our link tree. And yeah, thanks, Felix, for being here again, and see you next time.
Yeah, thanks. It was a pleasure, like always. And I'm looking forward for the next AMA.
We will have that pretty soon, I guess, after I've spoken with the tech team to get something out of their hold. All right, see you. Bye-bye.